Alright, so today, thinking about easy tarantula keeping. This is one of the critter keepers, basic standard that they give you. But the problem that I see with these is one, because these little plastic ridges here, they can be broken by the tarantula's teeth sometimes, and you might find a little escapee. Comes with these little holes sometimes, or like this one technically has a little bit of an issue right here to where somebody before me kind of did some kind of fixing to that, so that can be problematic if it's like that. But it's nice because you have this top that opens and you can just easily, so to speak, if this wants to pop open. Okay, alright, so we got that popped open, but as you see with this Monocentropus balfouri, it is webbing all the way to the top. So if it makes it all the way to the top and it actually gets webs caught up here, when you open this, it'll actually pull on it and it'll think that it's prey, and seeing how the webs would be up here, they can dart all the way up and out, and then you just have like a tarantula that's floating around everywhere around your house, which nobody wants that. So this is an okay critter keeper, but I don't feel like this is the easiest way to go. A while ago I did something like this, and I have to actually rehouse this really soon, but there are two M. balfouris in here, which you might be able to see from this top here that is not exactly the cleanest right now. I don't really like to mess with my tarantulas too much, but they're right up top here, both of them kind of facing each other. And this is easy because it has a feeder hole right up top. Excuse me. And which makes it really easy for them to be fed, because you can just kind of put the mealworms down the hole and then they fight for it, because this is why they're kind of probably chilling up top right here, is because they're kind of waiting for food. But the problem with it is as soon as you try to open this lid, it's webbed to the very top. So there's a huge issue and it throws everybody off. Let's see if I can get them not to go darting, and one darted. Okay. But you can see in there, it's just webbed all the way to the top, like really well. So there's no way of opening this without actually really destroying what they've been working on for, I think that iPad's been in that container for a year and a half maybe. So here's one more example. This is the Chillibrachus guanziensis, and you can't see anything to the top, and this is a fossorial species. So with that being said, I have a hard time figuring out where she's at, which she's right there up top, which it's not good, because I feel like if I were to try to open this and feed it, then I'm going to have a lot of issues with this. So this was not my container. I did not place this one in here, but I will be rehousing this one soon as well. That's not exactly my idea of a good, easy enclosure for beginner keepers. This is a classic Van Dryo, or Van Dryo? Dryo Van. Anyway, so it's the classic small. I had a P Victory inside here, and it's great because it would always kind of hide down, but when it comes time to rehouse, it was very hard to try and pop the top and get it out and try to take care of it and everything. So it was just very problematic with this vial. But there was one positive side to this vial that I did like about it, and it was the fact that it would fit in what I like to put in right now, which this is my H. maculata. These will fit inside of these enclosures and makes the rehousing a lot easier for when you actually have to pop the top and get them out. The tarantulas tend to, stick inside of their home just because, it's what their webbing is at, it's where their house is at, so they tend to stay in there. But when I do move them from that vial, it is really easy to actually put that in there and then go from a top feeder hole here, which I do have plugged, just with a little piece of wood that I found in the dirt, that, substrate that I made. and it makes it a lot easier for me to poke around through that little hole up there and actually try to get them out and into their new enclosure, which this HMAC has definitely fell in love with, because it is just webbed all the way from the top and bottom. Like, I love it. But this is an example of an easy keeping, and that's simply because you have a feeder hole up top, so you don't have to open this very much. And when you do have to open it, they are placed towards the back. So when I pop this little lock that I've made for it, then the little disturbance that you do make, they tend to, you know, just stay back in their house, which I see a fresh molt right there, which is awesome. So I might be just picking that out here shortly and seeing what I have in here, because I have not sexed to this one. So while this is still up, I'm going to go ahead and put that through there. And there we go. So this is an easy way of saying, or easy keeping, because I have air holes and a lovely little spider design, which is hard to tell on here, but this is towards the top in the front side, so then it has a little air pocket back here in the corner where it's a little less airflow. So if it wants more airflow, you can see how that tunnel right there literally goes out right to here into the front. This one is lower to help control the humidity as well, so it goes slightly below the deck line, which is, I knew was going to be there because that's where I cut the door. So right below I cut the door is right where I put the dirt line, and just a little bit like this really helps with humidity and keeping things really regulated quite well. I haven't had any issues with any dry malting or anything like that. It's been pretty easy keeping that one. I started getting a ton of these actual enclosures on Amazon, I believe it was. My dog is messing with something over on the side. But this one has a feeder hole, and the feeder hole was based on being it will be smaller than the actual tarantula's carapace, because the carapace cannot be squeezed. They can squeeze their abdomen of some sorts, not like an octopus or anything, but they can do that. And this is actually my Poecilotheria regalis suspect male that is out right now, if I can get a focus on that one or not. But he is out on a custom hide that I printed myself and designed myself. It has a little water hide down below there, so then it stays for like 4 or 5 days for this larger hide there. But you can see there's food over to the side, just waiting for him. But I tried to feed him this morning, but I don't think he's hungry. He might be close to pre-molt, which will be really interesting. So I'm really happy to see that. Regardless, I always make a small lock, so then you don't have any issues with you know, any tarantulas trying to break out or anything. And these are easy to really convert because it's just a little bit of hot glue. So they have these kits for the hinges. I think it's at Hobby Lobby, I do believe, and you can actually get that in a multi-pack, and they have different sizes and sorts, so that's pretty cool that you can get that. And I just hot glue the very bottom of it all the way so where it will seal any of the water that I spray in there, and won't have any issues. And I literally just go around and just poke the holes and everything, so that's good for air. And again, just with the air hole, or not an air hole, but a feeder hole up top. It won't focus. Let's see here if I can focus. But yeah, there we go. So it is really really good or whatever to have that. He instantly started taking the moss that I had down below and made curtain, you know, webs, and closed off the top. There's a hole on the side that I don't even know if you can see anymore. Yeah, you can see that. There's a hole, and it's definitely made a nice home through there. So it's really awesome to have something so easy that I don't have to open something like this, because even if I try to open this, which this one is kind of calm, so I'm just going to take a chance and try and open this. You probably see it flee back inside or just stay right there, but I'm trying to flex it just a few times just to let them know I'm there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is my P. regalis. Just made things way easier just being able to not have to tongue feed it and things like that. So just press that back, and with a little lock, there we go, that one snaps back. Easy peasy. So this is what I was talking about with a very a beginner friendly yet so easy to make something like that. And it makes the tarantula keeping a lot easier and a lot safer between, you know, the tarantula and the keeper. This is the smaller version. This is the P. arminia, and if anybody knows Psalmopoeus, they are very, very squirmy, so they love to just run and bolt around. That was one of my actual first ones that I noticed, that they were lightning fast and quicker than the actual human eye can see. So again, just made a really nice home inside of this hut, or the hide that I printed off. And you got some air holes on the side, and I'm just matching that on the other side, or, you know, just playing with it just to, you know, control the humidity. Something there, something, you know, up above here, so then it has airflow and it's not gonna get stagnant air, because nobody likes that. But let's see if I can actually see inside. This one molted recently. I do believe it's this one that molted recently. Is it? No, it's the other one. Haha! But let me see if I can see inside there or not. Yep, down in there. You can see the chevrons on there. But it just made a nice home inside of there, and it just makes it really easy. So then when, you know, I get around to the time of when I need to feed it, then I'll just drop one in there, and it just makes it easier instead of trying to actually thwart any kind of, you know, threat postures or aggressive tarantulas, because you're inside of their cage. And this is another one, yet all the same, you know, same feeder hole up top, a lock on the front door. You know, you have a door with a hinge, and you have that dirt line right below. There's that mole right there, so I'm going to grab that here shortly and end up sexing this one. But it popped out the top. I think I seen it. It was yesterday. It got really big, so just because of that, I'm thinking it might be male, but who knows? I'm going to see what's going on. I don't know if you can see in there. I can't see anybody. Oh, a little bit. There's a little bit right there. But yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. A little bit of moss layer up top, a mixed substrate, and it really works well, holds humidity really well. And this is just a different design, just an X pattern over the side. And I think the other side, I think I did that too, the X pattern as well. And this one's doing really well as well. This is makes it so much easier than having to open and wonder which ones are actually hungry or not, and if they're gonna come after me. No, you don't actually have to go through Amazon or any, you know, Hobby Lobby or anything to buy these, because I do believe these are $12.99 a piece, which can, you know, obviously get a little costly when you go through Amazon and you buy a few more bulk items or whatever. Then, you know, it just comes in a few dollars cheaper, so, you know, this always helps out in the hobby. But again, you don't have to actually do that one exactly. This is that HMAC container. This is the, instead of the arboreal setup, it's darn near close. It was actually, this is the terrestrial setup. And I have a mature male Avic inside of there, which he is just relaxing. He is towards the end of his life, but he's been relaxing and kind of just chilling out. Hopefully he's not gone. I just seen him moving earlier and everything, so he's just hanging out. regardless, this is the terrestrial setup in the same type of enclosure. A little dirty because it's been quite a while since I've had to actually mess with them and everything, and I don't like to mess with my tarantulas too much, or especially with any kind of cleaning product. I just use straight water, so hot water and rags for any kind of cleaning up around tarantulas. But holes up there was a bigger feeder hole because I had something larger inside there, but the feeder hole is too big, so I just went ahead and hot glued it a little bit and close that one off. And obviously it can't fit through these side holes here, and it really helps because I can just put the food right through those holes. And I'll show you an example of that here just in a second, but I wanted to show you that you don't always have to go and buy all those to actually, you know, have a tarantula safe enclosure. Pardon, I have deep allergies down here. But this is an easy, I went to the dollar store and got this enclosure, okay? Now this enclosure, I think it was 3 for $1. I really do. And no modification to the lid, you know, it's a grip lid. This is a H. Columbia large inside of there. And so it has all the breather holes and everything around the side. It has 2 feeder holes, and then there's a larger one in the center in case I want to give it something larger, or, you know, do water and just press it down so then, you know, gravity feeds right down into there. Just okay. I have this one labeled wrong because this is the female as well, but this is the same idea. Holes around the side, all just burnt in. Nice little hot soldering iron. And I've kept them in there for quite a while. I believe, I want to say a year and a half. This is my actual mature male, H. Columbia large, as he's in there doing yoga. Just recently molted and got his petty pops. Let's see if I can get that on here without disturbing him too much. Might be able to see those petty palps right there. But he is getting ready. Hopefully for a journey and a return journey, but I don't know because these are quite vicious. Regardless. Pardon me, the allergies again. They never stop. But yeah, you don't have to go and get anything expensive and do a whole bunch of different, you know, buying in bulk and things like that. Like, it's just the fact that you convert it and then just make it safe to where they won't get out, but you're able to service things for them. If you give them a nice home and things like that. There is a molt back there, way up high. Huh. But if you give them somewhere to really feel comfortable, then they will definitely tend to stay right where they, you know, feel most comfortable, and they won't be, you know, flying off and trying to run out and go up your arm or half across the room. This is another example. I actually have to feed these now, but I have a pack of 5 Lasiodora pear Habana, and these are all dollar store containers. So again, you don't have to go crazy with it. It's not the best for show, but it does, you know, keep them alive in a very, you know, comfortable situation where they're not crowded, they're not being, you know, harassed. And all of them seem to feel really comfortable. It seems like I haven't had any issues with any of them seeming too out of place just because it's a Betty Crocker container. So it's not bad. It's not a bad thing just to go ahead and get a couple things from the dollar store. I think more people go to the dollar store and get all kinds of little, you know, trinkets and things for their enclosures than they want to admit to, but that's okay. What we're here to do is just pretty much say, hey, there's all kinds of safe ways and things to do to help keep you and your tarantula safe. And again, this is, I think I got 4 of these little red containers for $1. I'm just loving with the soldering iron. And even if you don't have a soldering iron, you can actually take 2 paper clips and wind them together, which I can actually grab one of those here in a second and show you about that. But easy, just 1 hole up top, that's all. And then you have, you know, I just got silly with it a little bit and started dragging the holes a little thin. Can't get out, but more air. So you'll probably lose humidity a little bit more. This one's moving over here. Just as comfy as can be. I love that one. That was a really cool tarantula. And this is this other one, which is really cool. So there you have it. There is easy ways to definitely keeping tarantulas. Final example, which I don't even know where this came from, but cylinder. I have a pregnant, if you want to call it that. I paired a Vic of Vic. And this is the mature female right here. And she's just inside. And the hole is just big enough around here and maybe one up top here for me to be able to feed one to her. And she will definitely, well, not all the time because it's in a vicularia especially, but it'll definitely make it easier to feed. I'll even show you a quick example because I do believe that these LPs are hungry, and I just so happen to have some bugs right here. Nice little feeders. So we're I'm gonna see if I can do this left-handed here. I'm pretty ambidextrous, but I haven't done bug feeding with left hand yet, so kind of interesting. Let's see here, which I have one here, and I kind of just wiggle it to the hole, kind of start its head through there, and then if you see it down below here, I'll just let it go. 3, 2, 1. Just that easy. No threat, didn't have to take the top off, just went right through that hole. Which makes it so much easier for trying to keep tarantulas, and they don't feel, you know, that you just ripped off the top of their house, all this extra wind coming through or anything like that. So I think it turns out pretty well. I'll just even try another one. So we have that one, and this is the whole idea of it. Just making things a lot simpler. I'll grab another one, see what we got here. Got a little one here, but we will see. Oh, dropped it. Go in the hole. There we go. And let's see if we got this. 3, 2, 1. Look at that. I think that's about a 1 1/4 inch sling, if you want to call it a sling at that size. Juvenile, I'm not really sure. I would call it a sling, I suppose. But without even disturbing their house and feeling all that gust of wind from opening the top. It's real simple. More likely to eat, more likely to just hang out. No threat of it trying to leave and get scared by the bug that you just tried to feed it. So, because, you know, startling does happen. I do believe that tarantulas sleep at times. So, it's one of those things. I'll just do one more for example's sake, because this is, I like feeding my tarantulas. I really do. Here we go. And in there, and we'll drop them in. Oh, it got loose. You get back in there. And here we go. Here we go. And he's down. You say, what's that? What's that? That looks about my size. Could I use a bite? Yeah, why not, right? Oh, he does not. He does not want that right now. Yeah, look at that. You just easily just is like, nope. But it makes it easier. Because if he would have got startled and he threw that at him, then maybe he wouldn't like it so much. Might have just tried to dart out of there any which way direction. So that's why I try to make these lids that are a lot easier to be able to feed the tarantulas. So I hope you found this informative. Like, subscribe, share. I don't know. Kind of funky, weird. But either way, have a great day.